We have it on one device that has no access to anything else because so many people get their information that way. Whether we like it or not, that is a tool for disseminating important information, and that's how we use it. But we're always evaluating because we want to make sure that we are protecting data in Michigan.
Very interesting here. Democratic governor out of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer, defending her use of TikTok despite heightened security concerns, despite the fact that the app is already banned from congressional lawmakers' devices in multiple states, and it just continues to grow in terms of banning it. Kellyanne Conway is here, former senior counselor to President Trump and Fox News contributor, and kudos to her for waking up early and showing up the morning after her beloved Eagles lost the big game. Big guts. How are you? Good morning to you.
Great, thank you.
So rules for thee, I guess, again, huh?
Oh, this is classic Gretchen Whitmer. And she's not even listening to other Democratic governors, like the governors of Wisconsin and North Carolina, who have banned TikTok on government devices. And Tony Evers in Wisconsin, next door to Michigan, Bill very clearly said that in the age of digital privacy, we're very concerned about the technology, infrastructure, security, and privacy that TikTok, the threats that it presents. And over in North Carolina, Democratic Governor Roy Cooper came out and said, look, we've already identified cybersecurity threats here in North Carolina. That's why we're moving to ban TikTok. I thought Tapper reverted to form and CNN, where most people don't get their information. Maybe they do get it on TikTok, when he said that we have to have Congress do more and tell parents this and warn teens of that. And I think Gretchen Whitmer reverted to form because she's an attention seeker.
It was kind of like the boat scene during COVID, right? Remember when her husband got the boat, and no one else was able to touch it. Chuck Schumer was asked about this as well. Listen to how he commented on TikTok.
I think this administration is strong and tough on China, but mindful of the fact that we just, we can't stop talking to them.
How about banning TikTok?
Well, that's a great question. It's something that should be looked at. There are some people in the Commerce Committee that are looking into that right now. We'll see where they come out.
So the reason why this is so important is because it's reflected in a parallel story with this Chinese spy flight.
That we still don't have all the information and transparency that we deserve, Bill, about these objects in the sky that people are rightly concerned about. And also, I just wish the Majority Leader Schumer and other Democrats would talk about all the other reasons to contain China, the greatest geopolitical threat, the Uyghurs, the fentanyl, trade deals that aren't verified and aren't enforced. But people are rightly concerned about data privacy. The theft of technology that's been going on with China for quite some time is crazy, and people really should understand also that China's also behind some of these third-party subsidiary companies buying up our farmland, buying up other businesses here. We have a right to know, and when you're as flippant as Gretchen Whitmer, who's trying to be cool with the young kids on the college campuses who, for some reason, voted her back in, even though she locked them down for the better part of 2 years, probably because Act 3 was on the ballot, the abortion stuff. But we can't have governors, we can't have chief executives of states be so flippant and say this is how people get their information. By the way, if you're the governor of a state and you're worried about conveying information and communicating with the people and you're relying on TikTok,
there's a lot of ways to do that.
You have a lot to think about.
Two more things quickly here. Maureen Dow was writing about Joe Biden over the weekend. She says Scranton Joe's ready to go. He's running, and that's no malarkey.
Good.
He thinks he's doing great. There's a spring in his step because he feels that he has outwitted the dim-witted Republicans. Washington Post poll on Americans. Do you have confidence in Biden's ability to make the right decisions? 45% say none at all. So is he running or not?
All the polls are so bad for Biden. Even the Fox News poll last week about his attributes, they don't find him to be honest. They don't find him to be energetic, ready for the job. There's this great disconnect right now that the party leaders in Washington, D.C. and many of the donors, Bill, are now supporting Joe Biden with a spring in their step with some alacrity and enthusiasm, but the voters are not. It's like the opposite for Donald Trump, the only announced candidate. The donors and the political cognoscenti will never support him, never accept him, but the voters do, and it's going to be a real battle.
It sure is.
And others will run too. I think they both will probably have challenges within their party. They won't have a clear shot, perhaps, and there'll be a third-party independent candidate that will certainly mix up the field. But the Biden people are smart enough to be reading the polls and understand they're not giving the people what they want. I thought the worst thing Joe Biden's done in a while, which is saying something, is losing an opportunity to talk to 100 million people here on Fox News.
Entirely. A big missed opportunity.
He could have reached out to the same people that he insults day by day.
So listen, we got to go, but I was you a year ago
yes,
in Los Angeles.
So
I was sitting here coming off a Super Bowl loss.
Well,
how you doing?
I'm doing great. It felt like a home game. It felt like an Eagles home game behind us. It was clearly mostly Eagles fans. I think we got into the head of the kicker in his first 41-yard field goal miss. But listen, the Eagles defense didn't touch Mahomes all night. Yeah. And, you know, what Mahomes did in the second half was remarkable. 4 straight scoring drives. Amazing. What Hurts did in the first half was remarkable. First 2 black quarterbacks opposing each other in a Super Bowl. We came up a little short. Andy Reid got the Super Bowl victory. I'm so proud of the Birds. The Birds fans are the most loyal anywhere, and we'll be at Allegiant next year in Vegas together. I'm sure.
Well, we'll see you in Vegas.
We had a great time. Brought my 4 teenagers. They made a great memory.
Yes, you did. That's great. Congratulations on that. And
go Birds.
You got a bright future too. Thanks, Kellyanne, for getting up today.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.